Hi guys, I'm back. Closing the door. Well, my legs are starting to work again without pain, so that was that adventure, right? Well, I have been spending about 1.5 hours of mixing paint, so we got some pretty awesome pours ahead of us. First off, I want to thank the sponsors. We're coming to the end of the month again, and I will be pulling out someone out of this list, and I will think about which painting, or maybe the person would like a necklace. I'll do one of both so they can choose, and the drawing will be at the 1st of next month. That's the best time to do it. So thank you all for sponsoring, really appreciate it, and we're gonna go on to the next thing. Oops, I put my sponge on my paper, as you can see. So once more, this is the email address. If you have questions that you would like me to show on video and explain in depth, send your question to this email, and I'm gonna wait till I get 10 questions, and then I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna explain everything you ask of me, but then, you know, more properly so that you can really understand it. Because those live chats, they're fun to do, but it goes too fast. Before I can really explain one question, I've already seen 10 questions pop by, so this is the best way to do it. And I understand that every week I get hundreds of new subscribers, so they will have the same questions, no problem whatsoever. We'll just answer them as they come in. And like I said, I'll put those all in a playlist that says questions, answers, so that's going to be fun, right? Okie dokie. So we have here my table. I'll show you the colors we're going to do. Oops, let me zoom out a little. Okay, these are the colors, as you can see, bohemian colors again. Only I've added gold and bronze. I have copper. I have burnt sienna. I have a lot of other colors. And this time I will be putting the color numbers under the video, so you can find them there. But just remember that all the turquoise colors, everything that looks like this, all it is phthalo blue, phthalo green, and white. So that's what you mix. If you want a little bit more of a green turquoise, you put a little bit more of the green in. If you want more going to the blue, you put in the blue. If you want a really intense greenish turquoise like this one, this is pretty intense. You don't put as much white in there. You just put more phthalo blue and green in there, and add a little bit more green because you want that green tint. And if you want the blue tint, you do it the other way around. But if you want that really, really, like this, that really beautiful light greenish turquoisey color, that's when you put a little bit of paint in the cup. It's about a teaspoon of phthalo blue, teaspoon of phthalo green, and then you add about 8 times as much white, and then you get this really beautiful, I don't know, this is really a beautiful color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a 40 by 40 as we speak, and I forgot which video I'm at. That would be really handy because I'd like to put a number under it, but okay, we'll have to just do our thing. And I'm going to do a 40 by 40, and I might do the two, see, this is my own mica that I used, and it is beautiful, and it's light fast, and it's Dutch made mica. I sell it in my shop, and all I do is I mix it with a gloss medium and a pouring medium. First I put in the gloss medium from Winsor & Newton because that is really thick. It's almost like the vivid enamel that Color Art uses. That's how thick it is. Then I put a little bit of pouring medium, a little bit of gloss medium, and then I mix it all up, add a little bit of water, and then it's about the right consistency. But I'm going to do those two maybe later over the, or maybe add a little bit where it comes out first and then add a little bit after the pour. I'm not sure about that yet. We'll see what happens. So I have inserted the push pins. What I do with big canvases is I put in the little, as you can see here, the little pegs things here. And I put them in, I don't really hammer them in tight, but you know, just enough to give a, can you hear that? So it's tight enough that it won't sag in the middle when you pour on it. This is not gonna go down so that you have a really thick inner pour. And maybe that is what some people are experiencing, because I've had a lot of questions about cracking. Now, if you have a canvas that is about this size and you don't have a tight canvas, your canvas will be in the middle, it'll sag a little bit because of the weight of the paint. Now, you won't even notice it, I don't think, but you know, paint has the tendency to then go to the middle because of the sagging of the canvas. So what you have is here on the sides, this will be higher than the middle will be. So you're going to be walking away, you're going to love your pour, but it'll go a little bit to the middle. And then in the middle, your paint will be like 3 times as thick as it is on the outside. And when that dries, and if you don't have the good weather conditions or the humidity conditions in your house, the middle section might crack because it's too thick. So that's maybe something to consider if you're experiencing cracks in your paintings. Another thing is that I never mix two brands of paint. What we don't realize is every manufacturer makes their own recipe. They add different things in the paint. So paint brand number 1 will dry faster than paint brand number 2. If you're lucky, they'll be really close together, so you won't have any cracks. But if you are not lucky, you will have one on the far end of the range of drying and the other on the other opposite range of drying. So when one dries and the other one still is not, that causes the cracking, because one is drying, then the other one pulls it apart. That's what cracking is. So I don't mix brands, and I really like to, when I tilt, I'm pretty sure that my paint is pretty much the same thickness all over the canvas. And that's why really I've only had cracking once, and that was when I was pouring on a piece of wood. That's another thing. I'm not sure. Oh no, this is just a, oh no, this is a test thing. This isn't even paint. This is encaustic. So that's not it. But I've had that happen, but that was when you pour on wood, the top layer will dry and the layer on the wood will dry later, and that causes cracking sometimes. And again, that's only because I had my paint too thick on that wood. Now we're all ready. I'm going to get a brush, I'm going to get a palette knife and a couple of cups. Oh no, now I know what I've got. Uh-oh. I bought square plastic containers. I thought, oh, that'd be cool if I'd put it in a square container. And now I don't know where that is. And if I have to go and get it, then I have to stop the video and I have to stick 2 videos together, and I don't want to do that. It takes too long. The last one took me 3 hours to upload, so we're not going to do that. Okay, palette knife, I got my cups, and I got my brush. And also, I'm going to fix the corners on my previous pours because I saw some white canvas popping through, so I'm going to fix that too. I'll show you. Let's see if I got, yeah, I got the room to put the canvas away. Okay, we're ready to go. Now, I think I'll do a 5-cup flip. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm putting the canvas away, putting up 5 cups. I think I did 5 cups on the last 40 by 40. I'm not really sure, but another question I get fairly often is about using transparent and opaque colors. Well, in the beginning, I'm sure I talked about it, that I did do that. I watched or I really made sure I got both, but you know, I don't do that anymore. I don't really think there's so much to it. So this is going to come out last, people. What you put in the cup first is going to come out last, and I want a lot of turquoise because that's something I really like seeing. And of course, because bronze and gold and the markers that I'm going to use are going to look awesome on turquoise. So putting in a little here, a little in there. Now, I'm not even sure what I just was talking about. I don't know. Oh yeah, about the transparent and the opaque colors. Well, I don't really check what I have nowadays. I think it's just okay. I think I've done a couple of videos where I tried to show the difference, but there was no difference, so who cares? Now, I'm trying to pour this in not too from up high, and why I'm doing that is because these colors, because there's so many of them, they will have the tendency to go muddy if you don't watch out. So what I'm doing is pouring in very slowly as not to disturb the paint too much. I'm really trying not to get it all muddy in the cup. Now I've had those colors. And of course, when you use yellow and blue, even if it's turquoise, you got to watch out or you're going to get a lot of green. And that we don't want either. So, well, we don't mind a little bit of green, but not too much. So that's that. Now I'm going to come in with the that really beautiful blue. I'm going to use a lot of that. But also, I got to watch out that I don't put too much paint in all those cups. Every once in a while I'll check to see if the consistency of the paint is still okay. And I'm using Winsor & Newton, and as I said, I'll put the color numbers, not the full names, but the numbers, I'll put them under the video, and all you have to do is pull up a color chart of Winsor & Newton, and then you can see exactly which colors I'm using. Now, I know that a couple of times people have asked me about my colors, and I just say, you know, oh, please don't ask that. Please pick your own colors. And I really still think that's the thing, because when you use your own colors, the colors that you have picked out yourself, it's so much more satisfying, you know, because it just is, because you've chosen those colors, and that's it. But this one with the bohemian colors, I can imagine, you know, that you want the colors, because you might just think, you know, I'm not certain which colors I can do. I'm going to put a little bit of this stuff in here, the metallic kind of stuff. I hope it's going to come up. And otherwise, I'll just put it on later. Okay, I've got my cups filled. I'm going to put them up there, so I can have some room for my canvas. Oh, about tightening the canvas. If you don't have those little pegs in the corners, what you can do is take out a bottle of water, spray bottle. You know, you have those for cleaning. You have a lot of, ooh, look at that paint. You have a lot of bottles with those spray guns on top. Well, if you have one, keep one for this purpose. You rinse it, put water in it, and you spray it on the back here. Very lightly spray it. And then I like to, with a gloved hand, I will put that water, press it in the linen or the cotton, whatever canvas you have. So I just do like this, make sure it's getting in the back of the canvas, and then you blow dry it with a hair dryer, and then it tightens up. And you can do that as many times as you want, and it will tighten the canvas. Now I got little dots on my canvas. That doesn't matter. Okay, the fullest cup I will put in the middle, and the other ones I will put around it, and no problem if something is going to spill out, because this is the bohemian color thing. So there we go. Now, releasing everything and putting the cups so that they can leak out. Now, I've seen a lot of people pull up cups. They pull it right up and you see all the drips dripping in. But, you know, that is such a shame for your cells that you've done. If you pull the cup up and you let it drip in there, it really disturbs the pattern. So I'd choose not to do that. Now I'm getting last out of the cups. And most of it is out of it. Let's see, a little bit of red might really do well up here. As you can see, there's already cells popping out all over the place. I think I have enough paint for the whole thing. Now that is pretty. Can you see that? I like that. That is sort of Klimty, like I was hoping for. Well, look at all those cells. But the thing is that I really do want to have a little bit more of the paint playing with each other. That's why I'm tilting a bit wild. There we go. Now that is stunning. That is a beautiful pour. Wow. Okay, clean my hands. This is gorgeous. Wow. Just without even torching, it's beautiful. Let me get you guys down to show you from here without the glare. Look at that. That is beautiful, isn't it? These colors go so well together. Wow, that is beautiful. But I am going to torch. I'd like to see some cell action over here. That is really pretty. And as you can see, I'm holding it up pretty high. And look at that cell action. That is unbelievable. And I want some up here. Wow. And I'm moving pretty slow. And we don't want cells all over the place. These are growing as I'm speaking. But I do want some here and down here in the red, because this is a pretty big piece of red. So where you think you have a lot of color that is just too big, you just torch it and you'll see the other colors pop up. A little bit here. Let's bring out a little yellow. That'd be nice. Now, to tell you the truth, I don't even think this one needs the gold and the bronze, because I see a lot of copper coming through here. Let's see if I can see any more. Yeah, a whole line of copper coming here. And this is just it. This is it. I'm not going to do anything else to it. Let me get in close. This is really, really bohemian colors. Look at that. Wow. those cells are, you know, they are just it. And really it is the mix. Look at that. And this is where you can see the copper coming through, and here you can see some beautiful stuff happening. Is this amazing or what? This is so beautiful. Every single part of this painting has something so appealing, so beautiful. Wow, this is wow, this really blows my mind. It really does. Let's do the middle there. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Wow. So as we speak, I can see still some of this, some of the cells sort of developing. They're getting more of a definition around it. And the thing is, guys, this time it was the Vallejo pouring medium, Vallejo gloss medium, and I put in about, I'd say, not even 5% Floetrol, just a little bit. And as I was expecting, it just gives the cells a little bit more pow. I think it's because it helps the flow. It helps release that silicone when you warm it. So, as you know, the torch that I'm using is a chef's torch. You can't read it anymore, but it's just a chef's torch. It's cheap. In Holland, you buy it at Blockers for $8.95. And a can of gas will be about, I would say $1, but we don't pay dollars, €1. And all you have to do is fill it for, like, you count fast, like 1, 2, 3, that's it. Then it's full enough. And I've had these for a couple of months now, and they work. After a while, you know, with all the paint on these knobs, they get stuck, and then you have to throw them away. But other than that, they really do their thing. So that's what I use. What I do is I hold it up. Can you see my hand here? I hold it that far away from the, see that? When I do this, I have this distance between the torch and the painting. And that's important because when you do that, it warms the paint more gradually than when you do it really close. When you do it close, you'll see that the cells go fast, zip, and that's it. When you put the torch up high, you see, because you're warming a bigger part of the paint, you'll see those cells develop more slowly, but also more round, and they develop just a little bit better. So that's the trick with the torch. Now, I think I've covered everything. The water I'm using is tap water. My water is pretty hard. I have used distilled water in the past, and I've used water that I brought up to a pH of 9 with baking soda, but to tell you the truth, I wasn't that very much impressed with it, so I just went back to tap water, and it's, like I said, hard water, so we'll just see what happens. Now, I see a corner that I didn't get. This corner, that one is all okay. I just have one corner with a lot of red that I didn't get. So I'm gonna, usually I like to do this with a palette knife and pull it down, but I can't get behind there, so that's why I use a brush. Okay, I'm gonna put it away. Now, I have a lot of paint left here on the table, and I will now get the other one, the one that's ready, this one, see that? And what I'm going to do is get the good color, little brush, because I saw that I missed a couple of corners on the other one. That's one corner, then one with a little bit of red in it. Sorry I can't show it on video, but I'm holding it next to me. That's the other one. One's go, and this one has a little bit more blue in it. And that's really all you have to do. You know, you just get your drip off and use that for the corners of a previous pour. No problem at all. So I'm going to put that one away. And I have another one with a little bit of, as you can see there, it has that little specky thing. So I'm going to make sure I get them all. And let's see, here is a little bit I missed. One there, there's a little bit I missed. And of course the corner. That's it, I'm done. Now I have some of this on the table. And what I have here is that, if you can, sorry about the light, but I want to show you that it's Kodak Extra Life paper, what I'm going to use. Cutting it in half. And I'm going to scoop up some of this color here and let it come down a little bit. That is, by itself, is gorgeous. I love that. And put some more on. Make it come down here. Now there's a lot of paint on this at the moment, but you don't want that much paint on it because then it gets really, really thick. Letting it come down there and letting it run off the paper. There we go. Oh, there's some nice copper color in there. Now I'm gonna turn on the torch. That's it. And I'll show you a close-up. See that? You never know what you're gonna do with this. This is big enough to frame. If you really like what you did, you could frame it. I am gonna let it run a little bit off the paper, because that way the cells are a little bit, you know, they have a little bit more of a swirl to them, and I kind of like that when you have a little one. That's it. Now put that one away, and I'm going to do that one more time, but this time with a lot of orange in it. And I want to scoop it up just in one big scoopy motion. Ooh, this is beautiful. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Wow. Uh-oh, this calls for a little bit more of the bluish thing here. Because I want to keep that intact. That is beautiful. I know it's running off, but sometimes you just need it to give it a little bit more of a momentum, you know, movement. And there we go, a little bit of torching. No more than that. I don't want too much torching. Look at that, that is pretty. That is really pretty. Too bad it has that big one in the middle. I don't really like that, but let's see if we can get rid of it. Get a little bit more of that blue. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty. I'm gonna keep it just like this. That is nice, isn't it? Wow. This one is really cool. This This one is already inspiring me to do these colors. So it's a lot of orange, a lot of yellow, a little bit of copper color, and then this is all the blues and the greens that I have. Oh, this is really pretty. Don't you agree, guys? This is really pretty. Okay, so put this one away. And with this, I'm gonna get some Yupo from downstairs. I don't have enough here. I just have one little small little one because I would like to do a little squish. And let's do it now. This is photo paper again. So I'm gonna scoop it up, pull it over the paper, do a little squish, and if this goes wrong, you know, it's not such a problem because the paper is much cheaper than Yupo. Yupo is so expensive, but the photo paper is much cheaper. It is kind of cool. It's not really ugly. That's kind of nice. I might do something with that. Putting them all to dry, but I'll have to find another place for it because some are, I see that some, that's the only disadvantage with this paper. You need a workbench which is flat to dry them on. And what happens is, because it's both sides are covered with paint, when the top is dry, the bottom, let me see that? All this is going to be on your bench, and then that takes a long time to dry. So when your top is dry, I peel it off, and then I put it on, you know, the right side of the wrong side up, and I let the bottom dry. But this is kind of cool. You never know what you can do with this. Who knows? Maybe put it on a box or something like that. So I'm going to keep this one too, and as you can see, there's not much paint left over. Maybe I'll just cover this corner too and swipe it a little. Yeah, see, that's that. Now it's getting muddy. This is where it gets muddy. See that? This is all muddy, but because there's so many reds and oranges in here, it's not an ugly color. So there it goes. So what you really have to take care of is that you don't manipulate your paint too much. That's why I didn't pour high and poured very slowly and subtly into that cup. Just one more torch. That's enough. I will keep this anyway. You never know what you can do with it. There are some nice pieces that, you know, someone that likes jewelry and doesn't want those flashy colors, they might really like just a piece of it with a little bit of glitter on top. Who knows? Okay, guys, this is it for me. I'm going to be fixing up the table again, getting another 40 by 40 because I still have a lot of paint, so I'm going to do another 40 by 40. And then I might just, you know, I'm going to have lunch, going to take a time, and then I'm going to do a 4-cut flip of ocean colors. So, thanks all for watching. Love you all to pieces. Liebe euch alle. See you in the next video.